The mostly weekly podcast from Root and Hero Plumbing and Air. Here to talk to heroes about business and the trades. With your host David and Cat, their own via attack. Oh yeah, this is the Hero Talk theme song. Ooh yeah, this is podcast weekly. Well, mostly it is. Don't worry about it. Okay, this is the Hero Talk theme song. Ooh yeah.
Hey, didn't see you there. Welcome back to another episode of Hero Talk, the mostly weekly podcast from Rooter Hero Plumbing and Air. I'm David, I'm one of the hosts, and with me is
Cat.
and together we're on the attack. And on the attack we are.
Sure are.
We're like halfway through May.
Insane.
Just a couple weeks ago, May was starting. I don't like how this is going so fast.
The speed is...
Yeah, 2024. The speed of light. So, it is what it is. I don't like how it's already almost halfway through the year. Feels like it's just getting started. I don't know.
It's too quick.
It is. It's going by too fast. I don't know if that's a product of age or just the attention span we have now. With the instant gratification and the instant results we can see everywhere. You want food? I ain't moving from the couch. That kind of thing.
DoorDash. But, oh my god, it's so expensive to order DoorDash.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. It's crazy.
And, like, even if you order on DoorDash, like, and go pick it up, just so it's, like, ready when you get there, they charge you more than if you were to just go.
Yeah. It's usually like 10 to 20% more.
That's crazy.
They raise the menu prices. So, which I don't know if there's a fee that restaurants have to pay to get on there.
I'm pretty
There
sure.
probably is. So that's how they pass the cost along to the consumer, which is a normal business practice, right? And depending on how much the charge is,
Yeah.
right? If it's like a 5% fee, then if you were a nice company, you would pass 5%, maybe 6% to make a little bit of a profit, not 20.
It's too much, guys.
So, which goes into something that we'll talk about in a little bit. But so Kat, how has last week been? How was your week? How was your weekend? How was your Mother's Day weekend?
It was really good. I spent it with my mother, of course. I was telling David before that my dad actually got me flowers this year for Mother's Day because I have a dog, which I thought was really funny. But props to the actual mothers out there.
Yeah.
Because kids are a big difference than dogs. But it was really good. I had a lot of fun with my mom this weekend. What about
That's
you,
good.
David? What did you do for Mother's Day?
Saturday. Well, Wednesday, we went out to a steakhouse because my wife wanted steak, and she was like, "Well, we can go to this now because it's probably going to be like
Super
packed."
Mm-hmm.
So we did that. Then Saturday we went up to Ventura Beach and had like at the harbor. We went to some like seafood restaurant, and I know that's all they have there. But
You don't like seafood?
no, I do. She does too. Because she really wanted fish and chips. And then we went to go see the movie Tarot. And we made it like halfway through that, then walked out.
It's not bad.
Oh, it was terrible. So,
I don't even think I've heard of it.
yeah, I doubt it's going to be in theaters like this upcoming weekend. It was that bad.
That's
Well,
crazy.
I looked it up before we went, and it had like a 28% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I would have never gone.
And I was like, okay, this movie's either going to be really, really, really bad or really, really, really good in a bad way. Like,
And that people don't like.
and it was just bad. So, first time that Rotten Tomatoes has been correct, on something in a long time. Because usually, if the critics have a low rating on Rotten Tomatoes but the audience score is high, it's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
If it's the opposite, if the critics really loved it and all the users hated it, it's going to be a bad movie.
Very true.
This one was even.
Both said
Both
it
bad.
was bad.
And it was. And
Oh my goodness.
it's like one of those ones that you would watch if it came up on Amazon Prime, free.
And even
You know?
then,
And even then, it would go on the list, but probably would never be watched. Like Toxic Shark or something.
never heard of it.
Oh, they have a lot of shark movies on Amazon Prime. Most of them are fantastic.
I love shark movies.
Yeah, these ones are ridiculous. There's like Ghost Shark and Exorcist Shark and everything else.
Yeah, I don't think I would ever watch that.
Avalanche sharks. They're ghost sharks that live on a mountain that cause
No way.
avalanche. It's amazing. You should look it up. It's amazing. It's one of the best movies ever. It's really bad, and the acting is really bad, and the story is really bad. But all that bad turns it good.
It's like, this is so stupid. What am I watching?
Exactly, and that's amazing.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite genres of movies, and I thought this was going to be like that.
It was just
terrible. It was like, if like, it was just, and I complained about the last one I saw in theaters too, Imaginary, right? Because that was just a carbon copy of Smile, right? Just instead of people smiling, it was imaginary friends.
Is it that
Right.
If movie?
No, that's the family-friendly one.
That movie looks so stupid to me.
Yeah, but Imaginary was like the horror version of it.
Oh,
So, and it was awful.
interesting.
But it wasn't walk out of the theater halfway through before the first kill awful.
Okay, it had some potential.
Yeah, it was like, okay, I paid for this. This one was like, we paid for this. Let's go.
I wonder if you could have got your refund since you walked out halfway through.
Yeah, not worth it. So, it's
If
not
you
worth
like
the
going to
hassle.
movies, you should get the AMC deal. It's like $20 a month, and you
Yeah,
get
but
3
I don't.
movies a week.
You know how often I go to the theater?
Oh.
It's like 3 times a year, maybe.
But that's like fun.
I've looked. There's nothing coming out.
Oh. You're right.
Like nothing.
That's true.
I'm not gonna go to the theater just to go to the theater. Because it's kind of a pain, you know.
Yeah, I get that.
So, but then Sunday she went to go visit her mom, so I took that opportunity to clean up the house a little bit,
Oh.
and then went to get flowers because it's hard to sneak flowers in.
Yeah, it
Um,
really is.
Yeah, and I got her a Lana Del Rey record.
She loves Lana.
Yeah. So thank you, Amazon, for having same day delivery.
David, why do you procrastinate to see?
That's not a procrastination. That's because there's nowhere else to get it. I was gonna buy it at Barnes and Noble because they had it there, but their card system was down, and I did not have that much cash on me
Yeah.
because I never have cash on me.
Who
So,
does anymore?
but it worked out because
Same day delivery.
that, and we share an Amazon account, so it's really tricky. So,
Should have seen it.
yeah.
Any other day.
Yeah, but the fact that she was already there and blah 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 blah.
Oh, that's
So,
good. That sounds
yeah.
like she had
Yeah.
a great time.
Yeah. So, and my favorite thing is how different Mother's Day is celebrated as opposed to Father's Day.
Honestly, very true.
You can see it. Our corporate building is right next to a cemetery. Mother's Day, packed.
Packed.
Father's Day, yeah.
I go all out for both.
Mm.
Thankfully, I have parents that are worth celebrating.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not like
That's
that for
true.
everyone.
Yeah. And every Father's Day, we get to see it hijacked by single mothers. It's like, girl, you already had your day. Stop. Not everything's about you. Single
I get
fathers
it, I
don't
get
take
it.
over Mother's Day.
You never know.
No, you would have seen it. It would be everywhere online.
I haven't seen many single fathers though.
I have.
They're there.
Yeah,
They deserve their flowers on both days too. Then.
just Father's Day. Let's keep it separate.
Fair enough.
I mean, otherwise, what's the point of having one?
True.
It's okay. Girls get all the holidays.
Like Valentine's Day, it's mainly with.
Oh yeah, guys don't care about that. I hope, because I don't. It's like, oh, thanks. Valentine's Day.
I love Valentine's Day. Anyways, okay. So guys, today we're gonna switch it up. We're gonna tell you guys the word of the week. We're gonna be having words of the week from now on, just so we can all expand our vocabulary.
Yes.
So David, take it away. What's today's or this week's word of the week?
The word of the week this week is enshittification.
One more time.
Enshittification.
Wanna spell it?
enshittiffication.
Enshittification.
Enshittification. And according to dictionary.com,
It's a noun.
it's a noun. The definition is the gradual degradation of an online platform or service's functionality as part of a cycle in which the platform or service first offers benefits to users to attract them, then pursues more and more profits at the expense of users. So,
Like signing up for like a clothing store. 10% off your first purchase, and then there's no reward after that.
yeah. Or the major like indicator of enshittification, right, is when a company first comes on the scene with prices so low that it knocks out all the competition, right? And everybody flocks to that, they get the majority of market share. Then, once they have no more competition in that space, they start either making different tiers for their users, each one at a different price level. And then it's not like the original tier stays the same. It actually lowers in functionality, so you have to pay for what you were already getting.
Like, I feel like cell phone companies do that a lot.
Cell phone companies, ride share, streaming services. So,
Travel services. If you
Yep.
look up the same flight more than once, it goes up.
yep. So it's a big thing that's going on right now. It's making things worse. Like, for example, there's I'm not going to say the name of the software or the extension, but you can make training documents, like step-by-step training documents for anything you could do when you're on Chrome, for instance, or your browser. And it used to be you could do an unlimited amount. So you could basically make a whole training manual, standard operating procedure thing. And the only reason you'd have to pay is like, one, to get rid of any ads that might be on there, right? Which is standard for free services. Or if you wanted to switch out some screenshots, right? So, because otherwise it would just take whatever screenshot it took when it was making the thing, right?
Yeah.
Now you're limited to 10. When that happened, I was at 15, and it cut off access for the last 5 that I made. So,
That's crazy.
yeah, I was like, thank you. But yeah, the biggest one are the streaming companies, right? There's a theory that on a long enough timeline, like life will eventually just evolve into crabs, right? You give something billions of years to evolve, they become a crab. Or crab-like, right? With the shell, the pinchers, everything else. On a long enough timeline, streaming services will turn into cable television. And that's exactly what we're seeing now.
Yeah, there's ads in between everything.
Yep. So, and with TV ad revenue going down and down and down, because let's face it, who watches TV? Everyone switched over to streaming because everyone was sick of the ads.
Yeah.
Because out of every hour, on average, every hour of TV, there is 14 minutes of ads.
Yeah.
That is 25% of every hour of commercials, right?
Yeah.
So, and since people are switching over, people are cutting the cord, as they say, streaming companies are getting more and more pressure to run ads on their platform, because, it's not enough to make the same amount you made last year or provide good things so more people sign up, right? It's, now we have to charge for everything and have ads everywhere. And if you don't want ads, you can pay double and not have ads until ads are getting introduced to that tier,
Yeah.
right? But like, it's crazy. And yeah, that is enshittification, is making everything worse for the end user just to get, let's face it, short-term profit gains. So it is what it is. The rideshare people did that very, very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So used to be there was the rideshare, and you'd get whatever was closest, right? But now there's like different tiers.
Oh, there's
Well,
like like on DoorDash, it's like, do you want to pay $5.99 for expedited delivery? And
Yeah.
it's like, why isn't it that?
Mhm.
Regardless.
Yeah, and the thing is, that's not even real. So
It's not. And then also now they have like, oh, your Dasher is dropping off a nearby order, and it's
Mhm.
nowhere near your house.
yep.
Nowhere
So,
near.
and then you have to think about how many of those DoorDash people or whatever company it is, the food delivery people, work for multiple ones, right? So not only are they doing it for this one, they're doing it for that one, and it's the same with like the two main rideshare ones too, right? You see both stickers on a car, right? So it's just like, it is what it is. It's making everything worse for the end user, and is getting worse and worse and worse. And I, for one, hate ads. I cut the cord nearly 20 years ago.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, I was like, why am I paying for commercials?
Yeah.
Because that's all it really is. And there's nothing worth watching on there. Like on my personal computer at home, I have ad blockers. So, because, yeah, sorry. It is what it is. And ads are getting more and more pervasive. They're getting more and more spammy.
Yeah.
And I was scrolling through Amazon last night when I recorded it, and I just typed in one subject for books, and then half of the list were all sponsored or ads.
Yeah.
So,
Too many ads.
yep. Google search. The entire first page is just ads now. So, to get any real results, you either have to skip Google or go to the second page now. So, it used to be the couple at the top were ads, and it would say ads. Now it's like at least 50 to 75%. So,
And that affects companies in so many ways. Like, you become that annoying company that it's like, oh, another ad.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it eliminates trust. So,
Why don't we just talk about enshittification this whole episode? We're already 20 minutes in.
No, we
how
can.
how does that affect a company? Let's ask Google. How does enshittification,
well, let's type it in.
bear with us guys, we're asking Google, affect companies?
Let's see. One of these was a WordPress post. Not by WordPress, but someone on WordPress.
Made one.
So, let's see. Okay. Argument goes like this: successful social media companies enjoy network effects. The more people are on it, the more other people want to be or need to be on it. Network effects are factorial in their effects because of the way the number of possible connections increases as more people join. But when people leave, this process goes into reverse, right? So one of the reasons why people don't leave is because of switching costs. In social networks, these costs are almost all social costs. You can't access groups of friends you used to be able to access. For example, as social media companies have got more sophisticated, I don't mean sophisticated in a good way, on the article, they have learned new ways to find it more difficult to leave. That's another thing. They're using what's known as dark psychology for people not to quit. Like if you try to quit, cancel a subscription, or you want to delete your Facebook, right, or any other thing, there are on average 6 different steps to do it, and on a lot of these, where you normally press yes or no, are reversed.
Yes.
And in where green is like go and red is stop, those are reversed as well.
Very
So,
true. And like for example, like Audible,
Mm-hmm.
I used them and I wanted to pause it because I had downloaded so many books that I haven't read yet, and I was like, let me finish reading these before I go and pay for more credits every month.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh, do you want to cancel your subscription or do you want to pause it? And I was like, whatever, I'll pause it. I have like 5 books that I need to read.
Yeah.
So I paused it, and you can't do it from the app. You have
Right.
to go on the website. You have to go to your account. Like, there's so many steps to do it. And it's like, lazy people won't do it.
Right. And
Like-
they'll get charged.
And they'll just get charged.
And that's what they count on.
Yeah.
So things like gym memberships are the same way, right?
Yes.
Where you have to show up in person. I mean, God forbid if you moved, right? And things like that.
The showing up in person is insane. Especially like in this day and age
Mhm.
that you can just do everything online.
It's like, I signed up for this online. Why can't I do it online?
Exactly.
That kind of thing. It's
And not just go in person. Like, let's say you, like, example, you moved. You can't go to your new local gym. You
Mhm.
have to go to the one that you signed up at. Like,
yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah. So, businesses that do this go through, there's a pattern to it, right? There's a 4-step pattern right?
Let's talk about it.
The platform is launched and focuses on attracting users by offering a great experience and useful features, right? So, once it has a large enough user base or large enough market share, the company starts showing ads, selling user data, or making other changes to generate revenue from the platform, often at the expense of user experience.
So after they hooked you.
Yeah, this is like those different tiers and upcharges, things like that, where the subscription goes up and up and up,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
yep. As time goes on, the platform becomes increasingly cluttered with ads, right? Unwanted features and aggressive monetization that usually annoy or alienate the original users. So, and they've lost any focus that they had on serving users. The company, their core thing that they started off at is no longer there. Or if it's there, it's behind a paywall.
Yeah. That's
So-
another one too.
Yep.
Paywall.
So ultimately, what happens at the end of the pattern, is the platform becomes so bad and user unfriendly that people start abandoning it and going to alternatives. For those of you who are old enough, we saw the same thing happen with MySpace,
Yeah.
which then everybody went over to Facebook.
And you kind of see it like right now with Instagram, because Instagram has changed
Mm-hmm.
their whole dynamic now.
Yep.
Like half the stuff that you see on your feed is recommended.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even like your friends anymore.
Right.
And it's not in order anymore. It's like completely different from when it started.
Mm-hmm.
And you see people to stop using it.
Yep.
And it's crazy because it was everything at one point.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, it's gotten pretty bad. And you have to actually go to people's actual pages to see what they post now.
Yeah.
And like, yeah. It's
Or you
bad.
have to now you have to star them
Mhm.
so that they actually show up on your feed, or else they won't. Also TikTok, I don't know if you've had this experience, but now before you even scroll to the next video, right before a video ends, it says ad starts in 3, to what? You're not even scrolling to the next thing. Has that happened to you?
Not yet. Not yet.
So that's what's happening.
That's on
for
Apple.
Me.
So.
It's insane.
Yep. So don't update the app. Okay.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So no, TikTok's a big one that's for this, right? Because they've changed so much and not in a good way. A lot more ads.
A lot more ads.
The TikTok shop has taken over everything.
And it's videos that look like it's just a video, but they're ads, and they're at the bottom like eligible for commission or some of them.
Yep.
And those are like everyday users that are just promoting stuff.
Yeah.
But then they also have literally sponsored ads, which also say sponsored at the bottom.
Yep.
And it's so discreet that you think it's like...
It's every 3 videos or so.
Yeah.
So YouTube's done the same thing with not only the beginning of the video, the end of the video, and mid-roll. Those used to be skippable after 5 seconds. The majority of them now are like 15-second unskippable ads.
To 30 seconds even.
Yep. So. Yeah.
But honestly, I feel like it's like nobody's fault but the economies, because I feel like all these businesses are suffering because no one's buying right now.
That's could be.
You know what I mean? So I feel like they're trying to just market because like I went out to brunch yesterday for Mother's Day, and it was so empty. I've never seen it that empty before.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's insane. Like, it's sad because nobody can afford to do these things anymore.
Right. So no, that's true.
So I get where all these ads are coming from, because I feel like companies are desperate right now.
Yeah, that, and if they're a public company, they answer to shareholders, right? And shareholders always want growth and profit, right? And usually it's at the expense of the stakeholders, which is the employees, the customers, everybody else. So that's just the way it is, right? That's the way it's always been.
Yeah.
And when we're going through what is happening now with the macro economy, right? And not the micro, like not Wall Street or anything like that, because that's not the real economy.
They're thriving still.
Yeah, which is good, good. But when costs are up $11,000 for the average family year over year, there comes a time when it's like, well, but this has been going on since before the economy was like this, right? This has been going on since, honestly, they found out people would be willing to sit through ads. So
that's true.
Yeah.
It's just more now, more than
more,
ever.
and it's getting exponentially more, and it's getting that much worse. So there are some ways for companies to balance profitability and user experience, because it all boils down to the user experience of the business, right?
Yeah, because you want your user to be happy so that you keep them.
Yeah. So and nothing will drive people away like enshittification. And so we're seeing it, like people are leaving Facebook, or they're not even leaving it, they're just abandoning it.
Yeah, like
So,
they just straight up stop using it.
Yeah. And people use Facebook now to log into other things. So
Very true.
it's like, it's weird, but it is. Prioritize user experience early on. So your app, your software, your company, prioritize the user experience or the customer experience. In this, they're kind of interchangeable, right? So, use it to attract people in and retain that loyal user base.
And to keep
Right.
them.
Yeah. So you need to foster the customer loyalty, which is a huge thing, right? You don't want to have user churn, customer churn, stuff like that. There's always going to be a percentage that do leave or do never use you again, or just sign up and be like, okay, bye, that kind of thing, right? So I have plenty of softwares I've signed up for that I think I checked it out once.
Yeah.
So But implement data-driven personalization. Now, personalization is a big one. You can really screw this up too if you get too personal.
Yeah, because it's like, how the hell did you know
Yeah,
that?
exactly. Like when when you're like talking to someone, and then you start seeing those ads about the thing you were talking about.
It's weird, man.
Yep.
It's really weird.
So, yeah. So, but you can personalize the experience for each visitor in real time. Like that's what algorithms do, right? They tell what you've liked, what you've stopped on. So if you watch a video on repeat, like a reel or a TikTok
Yeah.
or something, it's going to give you more in that vein, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes it's the opposite of what you wanted, and you only watch that on repeat because you had to set your phone down for a second. Or you're like, what the heck is this?
Yeah, and you
That
just
kind
watch
of
it.
thing. So,
Or like you accidentally watch an ad
mm,
one time,
yeah.
and that same ad you will get it every day, multiple times a day for more than a week straight.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Um, you gotta find the right monetization balance, right? So that goes into A/B testing, and you know what's gonna bring in the maximum amount of profitability compared to customer or user churn, right? There's a fine line where that you if you cross it, you're gonna lose more people, and there's another line where you're not getting any profit, and well, that's not good. So, because then the people that do use you can't use you anymore because you're no longer around. So,
Yeah.
right. So, profit is important. You got to keep the lights on, but you can't sacrifice the user experience for that. You have to come into a balance.
And also because if you sacrifice the user, then you're gonna lose
Yeah,
the
exactly.
users.
Exactly, and the platform's going to get worse and worse. Like if you've been to MySpace lately,
Oh my god.
it's nothing but ads. So, and that's what it is now. It's just an ad platform that nobody goes to.
That's why people invest money into ads on that platform.
Yeah, that's weird. It must be like really cheap. What if someone accidentally goes here?
Right? That's
So-
what I'm thinking. I'm like,
Yeah. So, embrace revenue diversification. You should be doing this anyway. You should have multiple revenue streams for your company, right? So, don't rely solely on ad revenue, right?
yeah.
Diversify. And you can have those different tiers, but don't make them dumb. That's the only way I can put it. Like, don't ruin a tier or your base level
Or another one.
for another one, right? So, if you've always had this as your base level, add things to that for the next tier. Don't take things away.
Yeah.
That's the best. Like, if you have a maintenance plan for your company, right? For your plumbing, HVAC, whatever, right? And it's a monthly membership. Don't have one, and then be like, you know what? We're gonna have the next level. But we're taking away these things from the base level. But we're not going to decrease the cost.
We're gonna increase.
We're going to increase that cost, and then we're going to increase it further on this one. People don't like that.
Yeah.
And people know, right? And then you can invest in the user experience as a profit driver. Like, it's one of the most important strategic things you can do with it, right? Make it user friendly, make it so that people want to spend time on there, and then more people will see the ads that you have,
There you go.
right? It's like, or it's kind of like getting 5-star reviews. What's the easiest way of getting a 5-star review is providing 5-star service, right? Have your software, have your app, have your company be so good at what it does that people are willing to pay a little bit more for your service as opposed to your competitor, right? So like the difference between, like, I don't know, as an example, Netflix and Hulu, right? Like, most people like shows on one more than they like the shows on the other. So they're going to pay more
Very true.
for the ones that they like. And I don't know, I've stopped paying for both. But like,
There's that saying, you get what you pay for.
yeah. So, and then, how do you measure the impact of user experience or even customer experience on profitability? I'm just going to rattle through the list if that's okay.
Yeah.
Conversion rates, customer acquisition costs, customer retention and churn. You want to keep that as low as possible, right? The churn. The retention you want to keep as high as possible, obviously. Revenue per user and the customer lifetime value. That's the important one because, like, yeah, whatever the support costs are, right? So, task completion rates, time efficiency metrics, blah, 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 blah. So, things like that. The thing is, you don't have to enshittify everything to make a profit. All you have to do is make your stuff better, and the profit will follow.
Yeah.
Find what your customer likes. Why do they come to your platform to begin with? That's the question. And then hammer down on that. It's the same thing with like customer feedback, customer reviews, everything else that we've talked about. Find out what makes your customers happy and do more of that.
And you'll keep your customers.
Find out what makes your customers angry and stop doing that.
Don't do any of that.
It's like it's literally that simple,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know why it's so difficult to execute on.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So, but stop enshittifying everything.
And now you guys learned a new word.
Yeah. And I could go on about this because there's so much of it. And it's not just online. It's everywhere. Like, we could go on for another half hour at least about retail. So
tune in next week, guys. 'Cause we're gonna
so, we'll talk about what we were supposed to talk about next week. So,
Okay.
all right, you want to do the fee?
Guys, if you got anything out of this, even just learning a new word, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.